What's up guys, we're back at the HQ and today we're doing some more work on the Civic. I know, a lot of Civic videos recently, but I've done so much to the M2 in such a short amount of time. This is my new car. I like it a lot. I want to mess with it. I want to have fun with it. Today, we're going to be lowering it. The car did already come on function and form coilovers, but I did not get the spanner keys. So we got a bunch of random ones here. We're gonna have to test and go through to see which ones fit. This is what the ride height looks like currently and what it's looked like since I bought it. It's not horrible, but it's definitely not great. It's pretty high up there, but for a reason, because it is running a bigger, wider tire in the front. The car did come with a set of Mickey Thompson slicks, so it needs to have enough clearance for that when you swap those over. There's actually a whole different bumper as well that came with the car to fit that tire. I really bought this car as a fun street car, so I don't care about that. I wanna have better fitment, a better looking stance. So let's get this thing lower. Okay, fast forward a little bit here. I did already drop the car. This is what the fitment is looking like right now. I don't know how much I dropped it. I think it was like 1.25 inches, maybe. This is what the front is looking like. Definitely a lot better. I think it's still functional. I don't know if it's gonna rub. The rear, it's really hard to match the gap and the back because this is a smaller, thinner tire. Not by a lot, but enough to notice the difference. You come over to this side, and I don't know if you can really tell, but this side is a little bit lower, like 1/5 of an inch maybe. My finger almost hits the tire and the fender at the same time, so you can tell tiny bit lower on both sides. It's really hard to get this to line up perfectly because of the fact that to check the ride height on each wheel, you gotta obviously put it all back together, relock the collars, put the tire back on, drop the car off the jack, and then see how it sits. But then also it's gonna be a little bit inflated, I guess. It's going to be lifted a bit higher because the car was just jacked up. So you got to let it settle a tiny bit. It's a process. This is also my first time adjusting a car's ride height. I know it's crazy. I might get castrated, but again, bought this car to learn. That's what I'm doing. So we're going to go ahead now and drop the side by like 1/5 of an inch and hopefully it lines up perfectly. I am a little concerned that this is going to rub. I can't let the lift kit allegations come back. Also, sneak peek at our new hex lights. We got about 3 more sets of that to go up. This lighting is so bad, but I know these are gonna fully transform this place. You guys like my new jack stand? I keep getting made fun of because it's so small, but look, it still supports 2 tons, 4,400 pounds. It does the job, okay? It might be tiny. Good things come in small packages.
Two hours later.
Now, remember how I said this was my first time adjusting suspension like this? Well, yeah, that's me right there adjusting not the ride height, but the preload for my springs. So now you can actually use this to adjust the ride height if you just drop those top 2 collars all the way down, essentially giving you a garbage ride quality with the spring rate, so that the spring then falls down and it's not actually locked into place around the strut, which is not the safest thing to drive on, because if you hit a bump or something like that, that spring can come out of place. That's not good. So don't worry, I went back, I fixed it. I did learn to use just the bottom collar and then you use the top 2, which turns the whole strut either up or down to actually adjust the ride height. Lesson learned, let's move on. Now, I know there's a whole debate that the driver's side should be a little bit higher than the passenger side to compensate for the driver's weight as you drive alone most of the time. But there are so many different sides on Reddit. Let me know what you guys think. This is what the front looks like. Way more tucked. I could go a little bit lower, maybe, but because of the bulgier, bigger tire, I don't want to risk and compromise the functionality of the car because obviously this is not a stance car. I don't know the exact measurement of how much I dropped it, but before I could actually do 3 full fingers in the gap and now just barely fits in there. Okay, now that that's done, we got to go return these spanner keys. So let's go take out the beater. I feel so bad turning on my car with the valves open during work hours, but oh well. So now that we've messed with and dialed in the fitment, it is time to get in alignment. So we gotta head over to LTG. Overall, it's sitting way better than what it was. It's exciting, but you know what's also exciting? I'm gonna do some shameless self-promo here. Let me show you guys something that I've been working on. I'm really excited to share it with you. It's inside these 3 boxes here. It's the first official drop of the M2 merch. Come on now. Look at that. The color is a pretty much perfect match. You got the interior, back, and the front. This is the front of the shirt. You get a nice little Doubt logo color match with the design. This is in a super comfy, good quality, good material t-shirt. And I got them also in hoodies. They go all the way from small to double XL. I think I have a couple 3XL, but mostly small to double XL. Go check it out. It's gonna be linked in my bio, my website, www.doubts.ca. I also have a pretty big clear out sale on all of my original first drop merch. I think it's 30% off right now. You can go check out anything I have there. It's also free shipping, US and Canada. If you've watched my short form content, I think even in my long form, I wear my own clothing all the time. I might have to do some Honda merch next. We'll see how well this does, but go check it out down below. Now it's a new day, which means we're adding a new part to the Civic. The bumper's already off because we had to do some adjustments on this intercooler piping, which was scraping pretty bad on here as I drove, and it was gonna cut a hole through the intercooler. Not good, not good. Then on this side, we have another corner piece of the intercooler piping. This metal bracket that supports it to the frame, as you can see, broke off. So I'm gonna go take that to get welded, and then there should be no more play. We also added these two arms, because now this thing is super tight. Boom, we popped over to Boost Theory, wasting no time at all to get this thing welded. I want this car back together now. And in this shop, if you can't notice already, they got not one, not two, but 3 Mark IV Supras that all have fully built motors, and the slowest one makes like 900 wheel. This black one here, the license plate is DetJet. I absolutely love that. Then you have this Civic, which they're actually currently converting to all-wheel drive. You can see the size of the turbo that's on this thing. You can see the back of the car. I don't know how much power it makes exactly, but I know it's over 1,000. I keep seeing signs to all-wheel drive swap my Civic. I don't know why, I might just have to do it. This is the finished weld that we're left with. They also added a little back bracket so that it doesn't happen again. Everything is back together now. Very sturdy. As for the actual part, it's something really cool. This is my new headlight from EFB Motorsports, and as you can see, it's not a normal headlight because it has a giant hole through it. But don't let that fool you, because we still have a fully functional light here. We got low beam, all this wiring. This guy did it for me before he sent it out. Super nice guy. Low beam and high beam still comes out of there. This white strip is LED for the turn signal, which this has to be wired into the stock unit. But this hole basically just reroutes air directly into my turbo. So literally straight there. Much more direct airflow, better IATs hopefully, and also this just looks so cool. So let's get started. My ability to eyeball bolt sizes or whatever, Allen key sizes, has gotten so much better since I started actually tinkering with stuff myself. Here's what they look like side by side. Obviously that's the old one, that's the new one. Which one do you think looks better? It's kind of funny because I was interested in getting the black housing for the headlights. I might still do it for the one side because I feel like now it's gonna match this a lot more, obviously being all black. But yeah, this is 3D printed, so I really hope the fitment is good, but I have faith in this guy.
Yeah, you have plumber's crack right now.
You like it?
You're gonna have to blur it out.
Wrap this bitch on there. This is flux. It's like an acid. Basically, once you put this on and when I actually go burn the solder on, it kind of burns off and it cleans the contact. So that's burning all the acid to get it nice and clean. You can already see how much shinier those contacts are.
Okay, the main bulb is plugged in. The turn signal has been soldered to the positive wire of the OEM signal harness cable connector thingy mabobber. Now we're gonna throw this in. The headlight is back in, everything is bolted up, it's connected. Max, come here and show them the fitment, all right? The fitment I was skeptical of, again, because it's a 3D print, but... So I thought this was a bit of a gap, but if you look at that side, it's kind of like the same thing as that headlight. Pretty even. I mean, again, this car has been messed with in many ways, so. This is, actually, I'm not even gonna talk, I'm gonna just show you.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Yeah. I thought that the strip was just gonna be like the signal, but it's actually part of the whole light. And now this side is insanely bright compared to that side. The bulbs that are in this car were already super dull, so I've been planning on getting LED bulbs. But now that this headlight is black, that's a chrome housing, I kind of have to convert that to a black housing, so I have to go on Marketplace, try to get lucky. But let me show you the signal, because again, it's a fully functional headlight, it's fully legal. Yeah. Because it looks so legit now with this. I mean, I feel like at night, if you're looking at this head on, it looks like a normal light. But in the day, let's say I get pulled over and they ask me to, you know, show that it works, EFB Motorsports got me covered. The low beams are pretty bright, but it also does have high beams, which is not really that much brighter, but.
Turn it up.
Yeah, that's low beam. That's high beam. That's low beam.
They're both high beam.
That's high beam. What's that?
High beam.
No, that's low beam. That's high beam.
Oh, the little strip glows as well on the top.
Yeah.
Do it again. Again.
That's
Whoa,
low.
that's freaking awesome.
That's awesome.
Holy smokes.
So shout out to EFB Motorsports for making a really dope product. They're gonna be linked down below. I cannot wait to test it out when it's some better weather outside. The Civic is coming along though, slowly but surely. We are making it our own. I don't know what's gonna be next for this thing, maybe some brakes because these brakes are tiny. Next video will be on the M2 installing a pretty big piece of carbon fiber on it. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. Well, you're wearing the merch. What do you have to say about it? It's not a competition, but
Quality sucks.
Oh, okay.
The print scratches off.
Yep.
Sucks. Go to maxi.ca instead.
Got it like that.